Oh, hello viewers. Thanks for joining us on Engendered this very beautiful hour. And as you know, what we do on Engendered is bring you information matters that pertain to the female gender. I am Victoria Agbi, as always.
Good evening, esteemed viewers. Hope you had a joyous Easter celebration. Many thanks for joining us on the Engendered show. And today's episode promises to be interesting and insightful. I am confident, Rueben. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, the Engendered show will continue. Do stay with us.
Please, girls, let's be fast with our chores. It's almost time for Engendered. Girls, it's time for your favorite program, Engendered. Yeah, Mommy, we're coming right away. Sophia, turn off the gas. What are your fears as a woman? And what are your doubts as a lady? You think you're alone with those thoughts? Then welcome to Engendered, where we'll bring you discuss, interviews, previews, experiences, opinions, and issues relating to the female gender. This is Engendered.
Well, welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're right on time. Just like Confidence rightly said before, we went on that break. Well, today promises to be an interesting one because guess what? We're doing social media trending. I'm sure you're going to love this episode. Well, so many things to talk about, and we've been joined with someone who is going to help us do some analysis in the house today. She's no other person than Vivian Onone, an in-house guest. I hope I pronounced that name correctly.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Hope you're good.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, indeed. I say you're a business tycoon because when I went to your page, that was the first thing that welcomed me. So how's it doing business currently in Nigeria?
Like business is just business, and you know the rise of dollar and everything. It's not actually easy, but we're pushing it. How can it? Yes, money must be made.
Indeed. All right, like I said, viewers, there's so many things to talk about. Now that you've met our guest, where do we start from? Well, there's been some ongoing discussions on social media, ranging from one thing or the other. But let's begin with one that's gained momentum recently, and that is for the DNA. Now, there's been this conversation as to whether you should do a DNA for your children or not, whether you should trust your spouse not to do a DNA and just move on or not. And this has spanned from the conversation with by Wumi and her father-in-law, in person of Mohbad's father. Now, well, the father has over time been asking that a DNA test be conducted on his son or a grandson, but of course, Wumi has split fire several times and said, no, I'm not going to conduct any DNA test on my son. Mohbad was the one who I knew first. He married me, and I've never had to perhaps be involved in any extramarital affair. And should we take her word for it or not? Well, and this has spanned so many conversations on social media, and so many people now coming up with the reason why every man should go and carry out a DNA test on his child. So now there's this issue of trust on the social media space, and you see some people saying, you have to go and do a DNA test.
They've given it a name. They've tagged it paternity fraud.
Exactly, because you see, her anger is like everybody could relate. If you're a mother, you could relate, because this issue is between she and her husband. First off, she's already suffering the loss of her husband, and then again, you come from a family where they don't trust you. Everybody's looking at you like you're the reason for their son's death and all of that. But you see, this thing is. Okay, so I don't blame people coming out to say, okay, they want to do paternity test and all of that. But I just feel it's something that shouldn't be said directly to the woman in question, because this person, for you to come together to want to have a child with someone, or for you to be a father to father a child, there should be a level of trust between the both of you. And if for any reason at the long run you know you feel something is off about it and all of that, I don't feel you should put it to her face like, okay, I want to take a paternity test from somebody initially. Okay, somebody just welcomed the child, you're saying, okay, I want to take a paternity test. It's disrespectful if you ask me. And she has every right to be angry about it.
But this particular case is kind of different now, because the husband in question is dead.
Yes,
now, this is coming from her in-laws. So I mean, my question is, why now? Why the paternity test now? What happened when Mohbad was alive? Why bring it up now? I mean, to my own opinion, her in-laws are just being insensitive at this moment. Trust me. Yes, they are.
It's not like when Mohbad was alive, we had any issues between him and his wife.
Exactly.
And then again, you come out to say you want a paternity test. To what end? That's my question. Paternity test to what end?
Okay, and even the father, her father-in-law said that he's my grandson, but yet I want a paternity test done. So what is he going to gain from it? Is he having info that perhaps maybe the child might not be Mohbad's or whatever? But I just want us not to, I don't want us to just leave it within the Mohbad's jurisdiction, but take it outside that. Let's look at it from another angle. Like, when you father a child, let's say for instance, that child has not been yours, is not yours, but then you father the child to a certain extent, and all of a sudden you discovered that that child isn't yours. Should you perhaps, what do you think should be done in this case?
Discovering your child is not yours. That thing is it's demoralizing. Like, at that point, I don't know. It's a personal decision.
Right.
You don't force it on that person. You don't enforce it on that person to want to keep that child, right? There are other people that they know they can't father a child, and they go ahead to get married and maybe probably talk it out with their wives. Okay, babe, this is. But if you find out that that child is not yours, to me, I would say do whatever it is you want to do. That would keep your conscience clean, because you, on the other hand, that fathered the child, or that you bettered the child for, and you allowed another man take care of that child, it's not nice. You're heartless, if you ask me, because that man going through the knowledge of being a father this minute, the next minute you're no longer a father. It's not nice.
But do you think that we have an issue currently in the society? Should we really target an issue? Because the other day I was going through the social media space, and I saw a man who lamented that I think 4 of his children,
a white man?
No, not a white man. 4 of his children are not his.
Wow.
I'm like, how?
Wow.
So you allow a woman, a man train children that are not his. How can women be that heartless, difficult?
Wow.
That might not really necessarily be heartless, but
play it out.
Yeah.
Like for all sort of.
Isn't that okay to say really fear women?
You wish to
an extent.
Okay, let's take this tweet from
to an extent.
this reality TV star doing the former BBN Niger star. She said, asking your partner for a DNA test is painful, but it is not a bad thing for your partner to request for a DNA test. If he wants to take care of a child that isn't his, let it be his decision to do that intentionally, not because he thinks he's the father. The rate of paternity fraud is too high for you to think emotionally if your partner asks for a DNA test. It's a painful request, but it's understandable. Well, just like you have said, Vivian, I would feel bad if my partner come ask me for a DNA test. But I don't think that question should even come up in the first place. I'm married to you, so it means you do not trust me, or you think I'm a cheat or something. It begs one to question that. Let's say, for instance, now you do that paternity test, you come approach me, and you do the paternity test, and you find out that child is yours. I don't think I will ever trust you again. I don't think that I will even want to remain in that marriage. I'm going to shadow a whole lot of things that.
I think the solution here should be kind of just carry the DNA test in secret. Don't tell your partner.
But it will still
avoid.
No, confident. I feel like it will still come up again because that one will be even worse.
Really?
Why would you? Sorry, I need to chip in. Why would you be angry?
Yes, why would I be angry? Why would I marry a man?
Trust is lots of people, right? In Nigeria now, trust is not their biggest asset, especially for men.
Do you know something?
Okay.
Tell a man that perhaps let's go carry a fertility test. Yes, and see his reaction.
Yeah, he'll be mad.
Yes.
But it's the same woman as well.
Yes, you have every right to be mad, but he has every right also to want to do that test. Because that's why I say it's like, should I say, understanding. If you feel getting married to someone, already know the kind of person that they are. Like you already know how this person perceive things and see things. To me, I feel if your partner is somebody that doesn't understand things the way it is, I feel you should just do it without their knowledge. But coming out to tell your wife straight in the face, I need a paternity test, there must be something that must have pushed that man to say, I want to have a paternity test.
Okay, so that's the thing here now. The social media is awash through this whole issue of DNA. And so, because many people are talking about DNA now, you see people going to meet their partner just like that
when
for DNA test
on the high side right now.
Because they are scared, okay, because they are worried, because of what is happening on social media, it tends to make us.
But then I feel a clear conscience fears no accusation.
True.
If you have not, if you are not guilty, fine, let's go on with the DNA test. You get.
But not every woman would take that, because you can't come up and tell me.
No, just like the case of Wumi, do you think she's over perhaps stretching when she's saying no DNA test, because this issue has been ongoing for long?
But I think there was a time they went for that case died down. When Mohbad died, I think there was a time the case was on the rise that everybody, Mohbad's wife, need to do a DNA test, and I think she went for that test.
No, she didn't.
Or she didn't.
No, she didn't.
I'm sure she did not, because I didn't think she went for the test.
To me, I feel she should just go for it. If she's, like you said, if she has a clear conscience, go for it and prove everybody. But I feel she feels they're gonna, they're going to manipulate or maneuver that test. I think there's a reason why she's being so persistent on, I don't want to do this test. Well, if you ask me, Mohbad's wife, try and do the test. Everybody rest. You said, may you rest. Everybody should
But do you think the in-laws have a right? Because let's say those in-laws, they were not present in Mohbad's life when he was even alive. Right? They didn't play perhaps any crucial part in his making it in life. And all of a sudden, don't you think that should be a justification why she's even insistent that I don't want to do this, not you, I could just do it on my own? Yes, but don't tell me, because you were not there when I and Mohbad were struggling together, when he was nothing, and here you are asking.
And to think that the man in question is not even alive. So all those,
like I said, she feels attacked. She feels they have ulterior motive to that test, basically. And from the record I heard on social media, she was like, I would do that test if I want to do it, not you telling me I should go for a test. She's his wife. She knows how the family relationship is, and you will not tell me that he mustn't have related to her. Okay, this is how my family is, my father, or she said she would have seen. So I think it's not right coming from them telling her to go for that test. Is a must, she must do this test and all of that. So if she wants to do it, she should do it at her own free will, right? It's not enforcing her to do some tests like her husband.
Indeed. Well, I still talking about DNA. When one blogger here says, if you find out the children are not yours, don't drive the children away.
Oh wow.
So some savage commenter said, but God drove away Adam and Eve from the garden and Garden of Eden. Why didn't he allow them to remain there after deception?
That's a different context now.
So let's look back at the first comment. Said, if you find out the children are not yours, don't drive the children away. Is that really something that people can do or should do?
Don't drive the children anyway. Are you speaking for yourself or you're speaking for the person there? You don't take decisions for people. People react to things differently. You shouldn't chase the children away. You don't expect the man to embrace the children. at that point, knowing fully well they are not his. Even though he must have experienced father love with those children, or had created a bond between himself and that children. But you can't tell me that you come out to break a news to a man that these children are not yours, and you expect him to like take that all in with open arms. No, it doesn't work like that. He allow him to express his anger the way he deems fit, and if afterwards he chooses to keep those children as his, then voila, your luck. But not all men will come out and say, yes, I want to keep fathering a child that is not mine. And it's not now that the whole DNA thing is on the rise. Most men would not want to.
But do you think they should though? Because this child, perhaps you've trained the child up to, because most times the people who call uncle, daddy, they are not literally our uncles or daddy, but they played major roles in our lives. And we can never perhaps turn our back against them and say, oh, I don't know this person, because you know that what that person has done for you. Like for instance, I have somebody, Mr. Udoka, blessed memories. He died recently last year, and because of the role he played in my life, I've always said if I was going to get married, he's going to be the chairman at my events, right? And I always, even when I was in school, whenever I come back from school, I always go back to his place, help out with some things. And myself and I didn't know his family. I knew him first because I worked for him. And then that became like family ties. I'm not his child. Yeah. So there's that kind of relationship you can, not to talk of when you train someone, right? Is it not better to just keep the person?
Yeah, my opinion is just keep the child or the children. I mean, it will take time for you to get used to the situation, but just keep the child. That's just my own opinion.
And let's also talk about forgiveness too, because yes, most times you find out that women are usually at the peril of all this, right? When this happens, it's difficult mostly for the man to forgive, right? So don't you think in a way we should perhaps preach forgiveness? Because at the end of the day, the woman passes out of the house, you get divorced, marriage is broken, parents are kind of divided and the rest. So men don't know how to take what they dish out. Most men, don't generalize it before they come for me. Exactly. Because it's easier for a man to cheat and ask his wife for forgiveness and she'll forgive you. But as a woman, you dare not. There's some secret as a woman you dare not come out to say to your man. But don't you think that is relative? Because there are some women too that will never forgive cheating. While it's a deal breaker for some people, and for some other people, women will feel like, when I leave my husband, where would I go with the children? Blah, 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 blah. They don't have options. Most women don't. People that come out to say, I can't take cheating and all of that, there has to be something that's giving her that courage. Either she has money on her own, she can take care of her children with or without you. But woman, but a woman that doesn't have anything to her name, you want to take children to take care of, how are you supposed to go about that? So whatever you get from that marriage, you tend to endure.
Then I think one reason why some men will not, want to take that child or children after conducting the DNA test would be, what if, at the long run, the owner of these children come back for them? What would be their fate?
So I feel you should ask your wife, who's the father of the child? Right? If he's alive, if he's alive or dead. Because at the end of the day, the other person that owns the child might come out to blackmail you for keeping custody of a child that's not yours. And then it's not like you don't have the knowledge that this child is not mine. It's different if you don't know they're not yours.
But I feel like men should forgive. That's why you see that statement you made mention. We were talking the other day in church with some group of people, and the lady was like, why do women really endure some kind of certain things in the home? And I what you said, I said it, like some women are so dependent to the extent that without that marriage they cease to exist, right? So I think in a way we should preach in terms of empowerment for women, because you cannot, like I heard of a case of a lady who had 5 children, and having that 5th child, the man ran away. She had to survive on her own to train those children. She was given an event that took place as to when she was even cooking, and because she was so pressured, she so much on her mind, she poured detergent into the food she was cooking.
Wow.
And when she realized she had to wash the food, put it back on fire, and give the children to eat like that.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
So, but she had to look for a coping mechanism to continue even when the man had left her. Some women, because the man have not left or have not leave them, they will not look for a way to perhaps leave something that is so bad because they are scared of what the future holds for them.
They keep enduring.
Yes, they keep enduring. So if it's okay for a man perhaps not to, I'm not saying it's a good thing to perhaps have an extra marital affair or keep things from your partner. Some people, it might not, you find out that the woman will have a child outside wedlock. She will not tell the man that she has had a child before. Yes, before. And then she'll be saying, oh, that child is my mother's last born, or he's my uncle's child. And later the man gets to know, right? And it becomes really a deal breaker for him. Okay, so I'm not excusing the fact that women having extramarital affairs outside their home and bringing the child and claiming that the child is the man's child is a good thing. No. But I feel like we should learn to forgive.
Aside forgiveness, just be plain and truthful. A man that wants you for keeps will keep you.
That's true.
A man that doesn't want to stay with you won't. And at the long run, if you make that man come up to say, okay, I like you, I want to marry you, having the knowledge that you didn't have a child. And 5 years into the marriage, boom, you bring up a child and it's mine. See, you've damaged every level of trust in that marriage.
Exactly. The trust should start from the onset.
Yes. Tell him what it is. And if he doesn't want, okay, take for instance, I don't know, it's going on social media, this BB Niger, ex-BB Niger lady, what's her name? Queen Mercy Tang. Yeah, so Mercy now, she has a child. And it's not like this, her husband that just married her is not aware. I'm taking her for instance because she has a child. She didn't hide it from the man. So imagine she got married to this guy and at the end of the day he figured that she already has a child. Every level of trust there is broken. And you don't expect to tell him how to react. So men will opt out for that marriage and he has every right to tell you, okay, I don't want to get married anymore, I don't want this marriage, it's not working. And when people ask him, he has something against you. You know, there's a level they are so truthful. When a man wants to come for you, say, I don't have anything against this woman, what would I even do? By then you're safe. You being truthful has saved you a lot of insults and everything. So to me, just be truthful and learn to forgive, like she said.
Yes, but I know you see that as difficult though.
It's kind of difficult.
Because you cannot really beat a child and ask but tell him the way to react still. Right? Yeah, well, like I said, forgiveness is also very important. Why she said be transparent, be truthful. Like from the very onset, anybody that will keep you will still keep you. There's no need hiding. That's true. Okay, there's no need doing the evil and just, some people, they might still be in the marriage, have to sleep around, but it comes back eventually. No matter how you think you can hide secrets,
there's nothing hidden on that.
It will backfire. It will come back. It will come back. All right, then let's move to another discussion. Confidence, will you help us?
All right, this particular story has to do with domestic violence between parents and their child. A US-based Ghanaian couple convicted of beating 5-year-old son to death faces life imprisonment. This is really a hard one. Now we have so many comments here. I mean, if you don't want this child anymore, you can as well just take this child to an orphanage or give out to, you know, there are couples that are in need of children. Why beat a child to that extent? What must have triggered you? What sort of anger is that will make you beat a child, not just an outsider, your own child, the child you gave birth to that extent of death? And the statement here says, now this child was beaten to the state of, you know, coma. The parents did not even call 911, you know, that's the emergency number, to come take the child to the hospital. They were just looking at this child there, suffocating, like, you know, no breath. And I paused to imagine, are you sure they are the parents of this child? Because no parents in their sound mind will beat a child to that extent and then leave the child like that without even calling 911 or taking the child to the hospital. There is something amiss here. Something, I mean, it's beyond the way we see it.
Surprisingly, the authorities were saying that they determined that the boy had suffered numerous injuries from to toe as part of beatings.
So it's not just a one-time something.
My question is, are they both normal?
Okay.
Like, are they having mental issues? Like, how would you birth a child and kill your child? As a mother, let me take the man aside. How would you birth a child or allow your husband hit your child to that extent? As a mother, there should be a level of conscience for that child, because you went through the whole 9 months and you come out to allow yourself get angry. What kind of anger will lead you to hit a child? There are many ways to go about punishing a child for them to be, that's just a 5-year-old child. You can be like, oh, sees up something he finds very interesting or he loves doing. There are many ways to go about it than hitting your child. And it's like numerous, like she said, numerous beatings from them. So I wonder, like, are they really okay to want to do that? If not, no any reason, or even if that child, you discover that that child is not yours, as a mother, you won't allow that.
Okay.
If he's a mother in her right senses, you won't allow your husband to hit that child, even though it's not his. But a lot of things happening.
See, the thing is, okay, even while I was growing up, there's something that used to happen in my house then. No matter what, my mother never really interfered in my dad scolding us, right? But then there's a level.
Exactly.
Then she begins to beg.
She will come in.
Please. It's okay.
That's the mother conscience you have there,
right?
I feel
so. It's. I know some children can be very stubborn. Like yesterday, was it on Sunday? I visited a house, and this child, in my mind already, I'm already beating this child. Like, how can a child behave that way? The father was talking to her, and she was eyeing the father. I said, how dare you? In my head, I was telling the person we went together. I was saying, God save this girl. Like, the way she was eyeing her father, she will look down at the father, look at and ease. Some children can be that stubborn.
That's why outside the country, they don't even permit you hitting a child. The next thing, you see them growing up, having the knowledge of, I'm calling 911, this, my dad. But yeah, Nigeria, you didn't notice that when they want to handle their children over there, they bring them down to Nigeria.
Yeah,
they will beat you to stupor. Like, they beat senses into your head.
But then I've also heard, a coordinator, a child counselor then, she said that when she was training her children, she never had to, for one day, hit her child. That there's a way you can train your children without hitting them, talking to them. I'm like saying it doesn't work in Nigeria.
That's what I was going to call in.
But she said that's how she raised that child, and she grew up. She raised beautiful children. Like
children react or behave differently. What worked for A might not work for B. So you talk from now to tomorrow. It's like you're pouring water inside a basket. So there are other measures where how you can train a child. You just study your child and know what measure works for that child. But beating, no, I don't support beating.
Even the Bible says, spare the rod, spare the child, and spare the rod and spoil the child, right? Yes. So to some extent, the child needs discipline. It might not really be physical, okay? But then there's so many ways you can do it. I remember then too, I would see my dad use one finger to hit my sister. Like, that's beating too, in a way, right? And there's a way you can caution. Punishment in love. You can do it in love, just to show that that child has done wrong thing, and so that they can learn from their lessons and not beat the child to death,
giving injury and all that.
There was one in Kaduna then that she made a child in terms of punishment. Now, not just even corporal punishments. Now, the mother had made a child sit on a hot stove.
Ouch!
Jesus Christ,
that's harsh.
Thank God for NATIP that came into that case. And then the woman was arrested and sentenced to jail.
What kind of mothers? That brings me to my question. What kind of mothers do we have in this generation? Lots of Gen Z baddies, people that just come out and get pregnant, and they feel they want to turn all the old hate to the child, or because the father left them at some point, they take all the old hate and anger and they put it on the child. It's not necessary, really. If you ask me, that child has nothing to do with what you're going through, because they were not born. You brought them to this world. And I don't feel they will be happy having that knowledge that I'm coming into a family that both parents are not together. And okay, using Mohbad's case as an example, the family is not even, would I say, they're not even united. Today the father is saying something else, tomorrow the mother is up saying something else. So those kind of environments is not even okay to raise a child. So it's not nice to put all the whole blame and maltreat your child because you're angry or
transfer of aggression.
Like, it's not nice.
It's not normal.
Well, indeed, if we must caution, we should caution wisely and in love. All right, let's move to another story. I'm taking this story because it's related to something else I want to bring up later. Now, it's coming from official Michael Adeyemi 07. He said, when it's time to settle down, a Niger woman, I would definitely marry. They have just everything, 100% in every aspect. Okay, so the reason why I'm bringing this up is that you notice that recently we've been seeing our celebs marrying girls from outside the country. That makes us to ask questions if our girls here are not suitable. Okay, the other day we saw Moses Bliss marrying from Ghana. We saw Theophilus marry, I think, Jamaican or something.
Yeah, Jamaican.
Yes, so really, is it that our ladies are not suitable? Now, let's even start from the church. Okay. Recently, in church, a lady was saying that these people, they don't marry themselves for. And then I now looked at it, because when you see a newlywed in church, you are seeing the man maybe bringing another woman from outside the church.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
The woman bringing another man from outside. So what's the thing? Why are we not marrying ourselves? Then it not even extends to the society. A popular celebrity now is going to bring another person. What happened to all the sisters in that environment?
They don't have material.
I don't get, you know.
To me, though, I feel it's choice. Right? So you can't tell a man what to do. The same way you can't tell an adult. You can only advise an adult, do this, don't do this. But see, these men, they know what they want. I won't lie to you. And in cases of church, marrying a church member, I feel some of these church members, they don't even give their fellow church members the opportunity. They see them as, is it not this one I know you from here, see finish, familiarity. By then, or how would I come to church and still be seeing you? So over familiarity brings contempt. So I feel people should just learn to, guys, we always go where their hearts wants to. So marry from church, outside church, just know or marry somebody that you love enough to keep, because you're not the one you enter the marriage because we are from the same church, we have the same pastor. Somebody will come up and tomorrow you will not be able to speak up because how would I say this, how would I say that? You end up being in a marriage that you don't want to be, or end up coming out with divorce. Mine is marry whoever you want to marry, because the rate of divorce is too much. So let's just leave them. Marry who you want to marry. Get together with who you want to get together with. But please, in all of that, go there with your senses and not just come out to, you know, make it look like you were being forced into it in the first place.
Okay, so a follow-up event to that is a post here. It says, this is how a good wife or future wife should dress. I love this particular dressing of Mrs. Moses Bliss. Unlike the other day she arrived at Akwa Ibom, any girl that dressed in a way of exposing any part of her body isn't fit to be a wife. Still talking about marrying outsiders and the rest. I don't know why most Nigerians feel like Moses Bliss' wife is either underdressing or overdressing, because, well, I don't know. In some extent, I feel like this is her personage, this is her person. Okay, so people should accept people the way they are. But do you think, Vivian, do you think Moses Bliss' wife here is overdressing or underdressing?
If you ask me, I don't like the way people are using Moses Bliss' wife, even from when the video of her dancing came out. There are a lot of videos that went around then. Everybody, I'm dancing to this, I'm dancing to this celebrity's song. But it's her personality, like you said. And she's a young woman. Emphasis on young. And it doesn't mean because she's like that, means that's how, or using that her dressing as a yardstick or to measure how a decent wife should be dressed. That's her choice of dressing. There are ways you can still dress smart, nice, and still look decent. So you don't blame people that come out to say, if you check it, let's be realistic. When you look at both of them, over time, you see that Moses Bliss is a guy, is a man. He dresses so nice and smart.
Exactly.
You as his wife, a newly married wife of your age, right? I'm not saying you should not be fashionable. We can still be fashionable and decent. You don't have to, even though you want to wear a gown that will cover you from head to toe, there are other ways you can style your hair, even if you don't want to wear a cap or anything. There are other ways you can look and still look very presentable. But if you ask me from that particular picture, it's a no-no for me. Let's
call it spade.
Like, I've never really castigated her dress
in an
sense.
archaic way, and I can't subscribe to that. I mean, why will you say to identify a good wife or a decent wife is by her dressing? No, I don't subscribe to that. There are ways you dress, you will look smart and not dressing like, someone in the 80s or in the 90s. No, I don't subscribe
That is, if you're saying that, you're
don't.
automatically saying that people that dress fashionable or people that dress decent are still smart, that they are not wife material.
That is exactly what they're trying to imply.
Let's take, for instance, Vicky James. We all saw the way she dressed. She didn't expose her body.
Exactly.
Yes, but she looked good off her pictures, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like just like you both have said, I think there is a way that you can tell your story even from your dressing.
Okay.
Right? Now, I don't know, Moses Bliss had seen her dressing before they got married, and some of the people on social media will say that he's not complaining, it's fine, let it go. It's not complaining, it's fine, let it go. Okay. But before you comment on that, let's quickly go on this break, and when we return, Engendered continues. Stay with us.
My name is Sheilo BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheilo BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal.
Welcome back, esteemed viewers. And if you just joined us, this is the Engendered show. Before we went on the break, we were discussing important and, relevant social media trends, ranging from DNA tests to the dressing of, how to identify a good wife or a decent wife based on her dressing. That has to do with Moses Bliss and his wife. Now, still on that topic, Rueben, do you still agree with me? I still want to, lay emphasis on this dressing. Do you still agree that to identify a good wife or a decent wife should be based on her dressing?
Identifying a good wife, a decent wife, have nothing, absolutely no. It has nothing to do with her dressing. Okay, fine. Everybody knows the saying, dress the way you want to be addressed.
Yeah.
Modesty is different from being fashionable. Like Vicky gave an instance, right? She said Vicky James, we also saw Vicky James' wedding. Vicky James' dress was so long. If you see the way she dresses, she's also a lover of Christ. She's also a religious person. We could see her wedding, we see the way she relates with her pastors, the way there are lots of choir members came to sing for her and all of that. And to me, I feel Christianity is a thing of the heart, not really. I'm not saying you should dress indecent and not cover yourself, but I'm still hitting on, you are a young minister's wife.
Exactly.
You are still very young. Take a stance for there are lots of ministers' wives that dress well.
Mercy
Chinwo, you've got Angel's wife. They dress very lovely and yet very smart. They dress very decent. They don't even have to show any part of their body, but they're decently dressed.
And fashionable too.
Yes, and fashionable. So you don't expect people to clap for you when they see this is not 80s.
It's quite surprising because as a barrister, she should know better. Now, for instance, someone said, how come she wasn't dressing like this before marriage though? I have seen her page with armless dresses, making neat hair, wearing trousers, while after marriage she's tying hair, wearing big clothes.
Really?
let's leave it aside. Let's take it out from Moses Bliss' wife and Moses Bliss. They are both young couples, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's take it down to marriages. You will see a beautiful lady, a man will see a beautiful, you know, men are moved by what they see.
Okay.
You see a beautiful lady, she's all dressed nice, smelling good. See, and once she gets married, see now, okay, there's something that attracted that man to you, probably the way you carry yourself, the way you dress and all of that. And he sees that, gets interested in you, you guys get married. 2 years into the marriage, 3 years into the marriage, or when you just drop a child, you start looking like his mother. Why? That's my question. That's why people are relating this particular Moses Bliss wife dressed into it, because even if you get married or you have a child, doesn't mean you shouldn't dress nice and decent.
No.
You will come back, your husband will go out for the whole day activities, stress, coming back to see his wife pretty or something to attract him. Lots of women will be complaining, my husband doesn't touch me anymore, is this, is that. A man that wants to cheat will cheat, but that aside, you shouldn't allow the problem come from you.
Exactly.
The man to have her say, oh, my wife doesn't dress nice. Like, there's a woman around where I stay. The husband, every time you see the husband disrespecting her, if it's outside, he doesn't even want people to know that this is his wife. The wife will be like, my husband doesn't want me out, he doesn't even want to invite me. I'm like, there's a day I told her, playing man, what do you expect? You don't dress like this and expect your husband to present you. Look at your husband, he's looking all smart and kept. It's not only you that have babies, right? You have children that you take care of, but create time for your own self. Her legs are unkept, you don't even do your nails, you don't look pretty, you don't even wear good deodorants, and so please,
would you really
do better?
Would you really blame women though? Let's not talking about Moses Bliss' wife now. Like I said, that's her personality. But generally, for women who are married, they have children to cater for and the rest, it seems as though they are overwhelmed with work, right? And they really do not have time. I think men should be considerating it to some extent, right? If your wife is not living to expectation of what you want, is it not better you tell her?
True, I agree.
So I see some men lament, complain that their wife is not dressing well, the wife does not do what she's supposed to do, she has changed over time and the rest, but they don't really go direct to their wife and say, oh honey, this is what you do that you don't do well or something.
That's why communication is key in a marriage.
That's true.
If you don't get to come as a man, if you don't give her a forum, or you don't create that forum for you and your wife to both sit and talk about things and express yourself, you don't expect anything less. Because a man would always be a man.
Right.
It's not everything a man will come out to say to you, I want this, I want that. As a woman, personally, as a woman, I'll say it to all women, looking good is good business.
That's true.
Right? Your husband might be doing something outside, but when he comes back and says, this my wife is still fine. Even if you're telling me, yes, you can be overwhelmed sometimes by the activities of the children, this, that. That's why I if you ask me, I urge people to ask for help, aids. There's certain things you don't have to keep. There's no award for most hardworking wife.
Not at all.
You would overwork yourself. At the end of the day, all the whole stress will come on you. You might either fall sick, by then you don't even have to look at how you're dressing. You just be looking tattered and all of that. If there are things you can actually pay people to help you do, please, husband, support your wife. Help her take out that. It's not easy. You can. If a man should stay with their children for a whole day, I don't think some men will survive it.
No, they won't.
So women are going through a lot. That's why you need an understanding. In everything you do, just get a very kind partner. A kind partner is somebody that would look at it and be like, my wife is stressed. She's not even looking how she used to look. And he will look for means to actually assist you. But there's some men that doesn't even care. They just come back. All they know is their self. They need them, or just taking care of the children's school fee and other little things. You feel you're doing what a man should do. Though it goes beyond that.
Yeah, the fact that you are married doesn't stop you from taking care of yourself, looking good. Marriage is not a deadline for you to look good or look decent. You should keep being yourself the way you are before you got married and now that you are married. Nothing should change. So that's just my own opinion.
Well, Vivian, I want to disagree with that with you, where you said that being a working wife or a
There's no award.
it's not
not
reward.
reward for hardworking
But I
wife.
think there's a reward though, is that you raise beautiful kids, hardworking kids.
Okay.
Yes, kids that would take care of you in future, right?
No, like
And a
reward
beautiful
for,
home,
I
too.
mean, overstressing yourself
That's
as a
what she
wife.
mean,
Yeah.
When you overstress your wife, when you overstress yourself,
Mm.
sorry, there's no reward for it. A hardworking wife or lady or anybody brings out productivity,
Yeah.
brings out good results. I meant in the aspect of overstressing yourself and expecting yourself to still, okay, I want to do this. I alone will do this, do this wash my husband's car. There are women that go extra to just want to make a man already knows what he wants, and if he's a man that is kind, like I state, very important, emphasis on kind. A kind man will know that my wife is stressed, my wife is going down day by day, and I don't want her to be doing some certain things. Or he can even employ services.
Yeah.
Please, you people, in a week, okay, come like 2 times, sweep the house, let my wife do the cooking and the children and all of those. So that's what I was
Just
trying
striking
to
the
say.
balance. and
But
everything.
do you think it's actually advisable to perhaps depend so much on aids? Because now recently, was still on Sunday, I was discussing with somebody and he was saying how aids cannot really be trusted these days and they don't stay.
Not aids, yes, it's true. It's true, aids can't be trusted, but not aids that will come and stay in your
in
home.
the house and sleep over.
You
No.
can say, oh, aids, my wife will be there when you're doing the cleanup. She'll just supervise you, and she can still be doing something else, taking care of the children. So me, I won't even want an aid that will come and stay in my house.
Yeah.
At least I'll say, okay, since if I'm a working class person, I go to work, I expect to come back, okay, in a week, okay, if I'm not going to work, weekends, I expect you people to come around weekends and do some things. And in anything you're doing, as a maid, I don't even want you to cook for my husband. I'll do the cooking, I just need you to assist me if the needs arise. Or, okay, stay with the children, I'm busy, let me do this. And I'm there, I have to be present for you to be doing whatever you're doing. Because most of them might be thieves. You don't know who is who. You don't even know who would come and corrupt your children's mind and end up probably molesting your child. So it's not advisable to leave them in the hands of others.
All right, moving on. Let's take this story. It says your husband rejects your food over a little misunderstanding and goes to bed hungry. As a good wife, Miss Vivian, and confident Rueben.
Let me adjust my crown.
Okay, adjust our crown. What will you do, confidence?
Oh my goodness. All right. As a good wife, I served you your food as my lovely husband. And you rejected it because you are angry. Well, if I don't know exactly what is the cause of your anger, and if you refuse to tell me, and I think I will just eat and go to sleep. Yes, because you can't take a horse to the stream and force that horse to drink water. If you don't tell me the reason of your anger, I know I am not the reason behind your anger. You're rejecting my food. Whoa, I will eat and go and sleep. Yeah, when you're hungry, you know where the kitchen is. You get your food.
Just tell me you've eaten outside. Don't come to me and tell me you're angry. What is that? He's an adult now. If he's hungry, he would eat. But as a good wife, good wife. As a good wife, I'll try to talk to my husband. Babe, what's going on? Why are you angry? What's happening? And if you feel you're not comfortable talking to me, I'll leave you to when you're comfortable, you talk to me. Right?
Well,
I've done my duty.
Food,
I've done my duty as a wife to cook and bring for you. I can't tell you, okay, babe, eat and not eat. That food will go back to the fridge.
All this generation. Maybe an audience, they are Bloomberg.
I'm for the truth. Just for the truth.
Because your mom, I'm sure your mom did not tell you this one.
My mom cannot tell me to go and wake my husband up. Since my husband did not eat, I shouldn't eat. My mom knows better than to say that to me.
Victoria, what is your own? What will you say?
Okay, let me read some comments before I say what I can say. Someone commented and said, men are babies. So that part he said, he's an adult. Men are babies.
Okay.
And when you call him, he will act like one. When you call him baby, he will act like one. My point being that you won't allow your baby go to bed hungry. No matter how upset or mad you think he might be. Okay, any wise woman will know that it's the right time to talk. Okay, call him back into embrace and it's not the time to form hard girl or hard woman.
That brings us to the question, what would you do if he doesn't want to speak to you?
Exactly.
That's a question for you, Vicky.
So what
and I feel like
the baby here?
men, you guys should know that men are babies and should be treated as such. Okay, for me, right, I don't know what I would do, but I know what my parents think they should do. They did.
You don't think for your parents. We want you to think for your parents.
Okay, so for me, I think that I'm actually in part of your school of thought, albeit I'm going to ask him why he has not eaten. Why he's refusing to eat? What's the issue? But I know that sometimes men can be strong-headed and difficult. It's like, no, just go away or something. Well, I'll take the food away. Okay, I'll go back inside, but I don't know. I feel like
that case is very serious because you cannot seek. He's a baby. We all know our men are babies, right? But this is a grown-up man. He's a grown-up man, so grown-up man he should talk for himself now.
But I know for certain that men, when it comes to food, no matter how angry they are, they will eat that food and still be angry again. Right? Yes. they will not refuse eating that food. It's just only if the man has perhaps eaten outside or something.
Yeah.
If he's hungry, he will eat that food and then continue being angry with you.
I think some ladies will form the victim, you know, to make the man apologize. They know they know how to manipulate their men, make you feel that okay.
Well, every woman should learn that
situation, right? Yeah. And then look as if they are the victim here, and before you know it, the man will start apologizing for something he knew not.
Yeah, man, that's
manipulation.
You, though.
Yeah, right. That's true. So, like I was saying, you guys should have to learn how to treat your men as babies. You know, this men, they were not pampered where they were at home. So by their mothers or their parents. Yes. Wow. So, but I know that there's a preacher that said that when you call your man a baby, he acts like a baby. So don't call him a baby.
So which one are we
going to go for?
Are we going to baby him or not?
Well, I don't know.
Treat him like a king. I don't know. A king, right?
I don't know. All right, confidence. What are we moving to?
All right, the next one here has to do with hook up.
I know you like that part. You say
Victoria. Let me breathe. All right, it says avoid being a victim of ritual killing. Hook up and its dangers. You may go and never return. Girls, wake up. Young girls, do you know who you are being hooked up to? That person may exchange your beautiful head for peanuts. All that glitters is not good.
I feel like that's coming from Nigerian police, right?
Yes, Ogun State Police Command.
Good.
Yeah. All that glitters is not good, but some girls will not hear what. You know, they keep using economic issue as
But before we go to that that glitter and that economic issue, I know that many people, when you see the reason why most of we ladies are still single is the fact that we have said that we do not want to marry someone who
is poor,
who does not have enough, who is not wealthy enough, or we cannot start up.
Take care of you.
Yeah, we cannot start up. Not cannot take care of you. When a man has a job, it means he has a means to take care, but not to your own satisfaction as a lady. But he has what it takes to take care of you, but not to what you use and enjoy and belefo and throw away and cruise and flex. Okay, so it just seems as though we are so we have gotten to that part of the world whereby it wasn't not someone that was saying that 800,000 naira is not okay to make her hair, to buy a weave-on the other day.
No, that she can't marry someone, a man that earns 800k in Lagos as salary, because it's not enough to get her a wig.
So now it's not making a lot of young ladies now perhaps hook up to things,
pressurize themselves unnecessarily.
Any lady that comes up to say she can't either be in a relationship or marry a man that earns 800,000 a month, please, how much do you earn as a woman?
Exactly.
Because it's only somebody that don't know the stress that comes with making money that will lavish 800,000 on hair. Pardon me, I'm not saying 800,000 is you can't buy a hair what that amount, right? Yeah. But you don't enforce it or make it look like somebody that you don't have up to that money, and you see somebody that gives you that amount, and you say that person cannot take care of me, what is 800,000 naira to make my hair?
It means that you're earning more than that.
Yeah, you should be earning more than that person now.
Yeah.
And you see all those ladies, the ones that have big eyes, I think they are the ones that don't even have anything doing. Because you cannot be telling me that you work hard for 800,000 naira, you come out and you give it to a man. Let's take it for instance. A man comes up and say, give me 800,000 as a working class lady. If you bring out that money, you are bringing out that money. You don't have anybody that comes your way and asks you for 800,000, you give 800,000. You will know the extent to which you are connected to that person or how much you care for that person to want to give out that money. You understand? So, please, ladies, we should do better.
Okay, before we go, I want to ask you a question. You both, though.
Okay.
Yes. Can you marry a man that earns 100,000 naira in this economy?
100,000 naira.
Give your answer first.
Okay, well, 100,000 naira is a start. At least it's not at home and he's not doing nothing. But sincerely, I can't marry a man that earns 100,000. What can 100,000 do for a family, starting up a family?
For you and him, of course.
For both of us.
Yeah.
Nah, he can't. How much is bag of rice in the market?
It's not just even both of us, because soon children will start coming.
Children will start coming. How do we even okay, for instance, how do we prepare for our marriage? You can't even host a wedding, not a traditional wedding or a proper white wedding, even if you don't need crowd, with 100,000 naira.
Unless there will be other means aside that 100,000, like
just
a business. And we'll start it up together before we say I do.
Exactly.
To avoid stories that touches the heart.
You cannot be any 100K. I want to keep me for life. It's not possible now.
Okay, you know that he will not earn that 100K for life, though. Just know that.
Anyways,
Anyways,
what is the plan ahead?
so that's the thing, right? You cannot, except you want to marry an already made man. Okay, many men, you see them married today. Many people, you see them married today. They had to start from somewhere, right? Except, like I said, except you want to marry an already made person. There are people who earn 50K and are married. That's why when the Bible said two of you will come together, so that your reward will be plenty.
50K.
I would advise you don't, as a man that earns 100K, no, as a man that earns 100K, you don't expect to keep a wife that is jobless.
Yes, definitely.
You can't do that. Because if you earn 100K and you imagine you marry that kind of woman that can't spend 800,000 for her, how would you?
You know, I asked you a direct question. I said, I believe you're not jobless.
Yes.
You are into something. You do a lot of businesses. Can you, as a lady, marry a man that earns 100K?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay.
I can't. Unless there are other means of income.
Exactly.
Like a business.
All right, you've heard it, viewers. What do you have to say about this? Well, we would like to get your thoughts on this, like perhaps next on Thursday when we come back on the show to give us an insight as to whether it's okay to perhaps as a lady marry a man that earns less, or maybe it's small amount, like I just said, 100,000 naira. It's fine. Is it okay? Well, until next time, I remain Victoria Agbi.
Many thanks for joining us on today's episode. Hope you had a wonderful time with us. Till we come your way again, I am Confidence Rueben. Bye for now.